Good evening. Welcome to the special meeting, the City Council of Satellite Beach, January 3rd, 2013, approximately 7 p.m. Happy New Year, everyone. At this time, I would like to open the meeting by allowing citizens' comments for agenda item number 2. We only have, there's one agenda item on here, and that's discussion and take action on appointment to fill the council vacancy. So I'd like to open up first for citizens of Satellite Beach, taxpayers of Satellite Beach, then anyone else who would like to speak. So the floor is open for anybody that would like to make a comment concerning this issue. No. No public comment. Steve, please. Thank you.
Steve Headley, President.
Thanks.
Totally off the agenda item. Can we get an announcement from the chair on the new auditory system?
Lenore has those. Lenore, if you want to let them know what they are and where they are. The headsets with the.
They've always been here.
Yeah, but we got new and better headsets now, so
Yes.
I'm not sure everybody knows.
If you're in need, you always come to the city clerk, and I can provide you with the hearing enhancement with the headphones.
They have volume adjustments, and we tested them in various spots of the room. They do work very well. We're hoping to have someone tested that might have hearing aids to see if there's a conflict there. But if they do work very well anywhere in the room if anybody has any difficulty hearing.
Thank you. Any further, thanks Steve, appreciate it. Any further public comment? Okay, hearing none, bring it back to council. Council, I would hope we will do a discussion first on this and then see where we stand after that discussion. I would like to allow each of the council members to, speak on their feelings concerning the applicants. Who would like to start off?
I'll wait.
You don't want to start?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'd like to begin by thanking all 7 of the candidates who applied for this position. It was clear that each of you came prepared, and I feel that you contributed a lot, and you gave comments and ideas that are valuable and worth our pursuit. We all know that only one person can be selected, but hopefully those who are not selected will continue to stay around and work on boards or other activities that you think may use your talents and skills and help to contribute to moving our city forward. I would like to address the criteria that I had for filling this position. Our city is in a very challenging period of time, and when times are difficult, I think it is wise to look for experience to lead us through the difficulties. And my criteria were that I wanted the person who has, of all the candidates, the one with the most city experience, the deepest knowledge of city issues, and the one who is most ready to immediately become a productive leader on the council with the shortest learning curve. I listened very carefully to all of the interviews, and one thing became very clear to me. There was one candidate who was really far ahead of the others in terms of meeting those criteria. And so based on those criteria and the results of the interviews, my choice to fill the vacant council seat is Dominic Montanaro. In addition to his being highly qualified for this position, Dominic brings additional benefits with him, and they are his extensive contacts and good relationships that he has established over the years with leaders in Tallahassee and elsewhere throughout Florida. And these can help us restore our city's good name where Satellite Beach's reputation has recently been tarnished. He also has and demonstrated an extensive institutional knowledge of our city and an easy recall of pertinent facts. And that will help our new city manager become acclimated to our city. So for those reasons, my choice would be Dominic. Now, having said that, I want to repeat how valuable I thought the whole process was, how valuable I thought all of the comments were, and my sincere hope that all of you will stick around and work with us in some capacity to help our city move forward.
Thank you. Cheryl, you want an opportunity now?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I'd like to echo some of Lorraine's comments. We had some excellent applicants, and I'm very grateful for each of you coming out and applying for this position. So I'd like to thank each of our volunteers for coming out and willing to share their time within the city. And for the one not selected, for the ones not selected, I would hope that they stay involved in the city at multiple levels. The criteria that I used throughout this process was I wanted to use someone who has a long-standing history within the city, somebody who served the city for quite some time, that is respected in the community, and they may not always be the most popular in the community, but they are respected in the community for the decisions they make, and they try to make well-balanced decisions. And the third is that they can be counted on to stay the course. As you know, being on council takes quite a bit of time. It requires an enormous amount of personal involvement, sacrifices to the family, and it's somebody that has to be able to stay with the process for a long period of time. I've received a number of calls regarding each of the applicants, and even as late as 6:30 tonight, sharing their ideas of who they believe should be selected for this position. And I appreciate all the calls that I've received and all the conversations in Publix and Walmart and all the other places where I've been stopped to talk about this. So the person I think that stands out among all of them, I have to echo Lorraine's comments, is Dominic Montanaro. I believe the man has really served the city well. He's been elected twice. He's been very popular with some of the decisions and the leadership that he's shown in our community, and is very well known throughout the county and throughout the state for his activities at the municipal level. So that would be my choice for our replacement councilperson.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
I sat back and waited because I had a feeling that this was how it was going to be, but I actually had the opportunity to go back and also listen to the community. I went back and looked at my notes. I always keep diligent notes. I went back and also listened to the tape. And there were a couple candidates that stuck out in my mind, and I was kind of on the fence about it, and I was hoping we could have some discussion regarding these candidates, but perhaps you won't, but Alice Walden really stuck out in my mind as one of the candidates, and I think that also Trevor Loewen, just because of the fact that he did put himself out there and he did run for mayor and he did get quite an extensive amount of votes just based on that. We have quite a bit of experience up here already. I'm not necessarily sure that experience is what you would base the criteria on, given the amount of experience that we have up here, and I'm hoping that maybe there could be someone with some different ideas, some new ideas, and would allow this council to discuss and reach some compromise on some of the issues that the city is dealing with now.
Councilman Dean, the reason I had asked for this way is so we could have a discussion. There's no motion on the floor by any means, and it is set up this way so we can discuss it. I took a lot of time on this. I also had asked some citizens who came to council meetings to come to the interview process and give me some input and send me some information. I got letters, emails from a couple of people. Someone did a report for me and their opinion. I agreed with a lot of the stuff on there, disagreed with a couple of things. To me also, I'm looking at this as a 2-year proposition, that I want someone who can get going running. I do like people who have a little bit more government experience. how the city government works in relationship to the city charter. I also talked to a few of the candidates. I had a great, and Trevor, thank you. We spent, I think he was coming over for a 10-minute visit, and we spent a couple hours together, and I learned, I think we had a good talk on it. And I looked at what city council, and I tried to put blinders on. I had people that brought up things from past elections and so forth. And, you know, one saying that a local judge told me one time that always sticks in my mind: one man's freedom fighter is another man's terrorist. So depending on what side you're on, you're going to have all these different points of views. So I try to take all that out. And I narrowed it down. And again, I think we had 7 great people, and I hope these people will continue to come to city boards, get involved into it. And but I do think a little bit of knowledge of the city and how the boards and stuff work is important. And that's why I invited Trevor, and I talked to Dominic also on it. And one of the things that I believe on council is that we are really policymakers. We do not get involved in the day-to-day business. If you look at our charter, it says to us that, you know, the city manager and the staff really runs the day-to-day operations of the city. I had a great talk with Trevor, and I'm kind of on the fence, and I'll tell you why. I think Trevor is very, very organized. I watched him at a bunch of the meetings, especially the picking of the city manager, that committee. He was very organized. And talking with Trevor, Trevor likes stuff that has a beginning, stuff that has an end, is kind of project-oriented where he can get his hands on this. You know, his work at Harris is such that he gets a project, he has a start and date and end, he knows what the cost of this project is. And my problem is I'm not sure that's the way city council works. We don't get our hands into the day-to-day operations of it. I looked at some other, Dave Ryan, who was very much involved in the city, and Steve, you know, I appreciate you and Alice doing it. Again, I go towards that person that has some more knowledge and working within the city. So that's kind of how I came. But I had a great time talking with Trevor and Dominic, who I have known, on this. And I think either of them would do a great job on it. And also, I think we can only pick one, but there's some big boards coming up. There's the CRA, which I think is incredibly important, and I think a lot of these applicants here would do a great job on there. I've talked to a couple of them concerning that. So that's where I did my homework on. I'm leaning a little bit more towards Dominic only because of his experience on council and hitting the ground running, and that this is really not a project, that this is more making policies, and the project is run by the staff of the city. So,
In that case, I move that we appoint Dominic Montanaro to fill the vacant city council seat.
I'll second that. I have a motion by Councilman Gott, second by Councilman Brimer. Further discussion. If you'd like to discuss it further, I'm up for it.
Sure. I mean, I was out there campaigning last year, and my feedback was that Dominic Montanaro was not very well received in the community. Not by some of the business folks, not during the election, regarding trivial things such as signs, and it's just not the way you present yourself as a council person. I just wanted to add that to the record because I've been getting a lot of feedback about that, and I want to make that on the up and up. So I also ran. I won an election, and you know, I didn't sit on. I don't have the experience. I haven't sat here for 8 years or 12 years or whatever, but I think my voice is important as well.
Well, yeah, and I believe your voice is, and I think you brought something different to the council. You had a lot of CRA experience.
Brought.
Running.
So now it's not bring, it's brought. So.
You brought to the council. So, Any further?
So just to be clear, the motion that's on the table is to fill the vacated term for the remainder of that particular term.
2-year term, right, until the next election.
Okay.
Let me add that to the motion, I'll amend my motion to appoint Dominic Montanaro to fill the vacant, the remaining 2 years of the vacant city council seat.
I'll amend my second.
Right. Okay, got an amendment by Councilman Gotz, second by Councilman Breimer. Any further discussion?
No, I also would like to thank all the applicants that put their information together and that were interviewed several weeks ago for the position. I appreciate it.
And thank you to everyone. Lenore?
Councilwoman Dean?
No.
Vice Mayor Breimer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dodd?
Yes.
Mayor Patino?
Yes. Motion carries.
3 to 1. 3 to 1.
3 to 1.
As far as procedurally, at what point does he get sworn in, and how do we handle that, Mr. Mayor?
We will swear him in, I think, tomorrow, and then, or we'll do it on the 9th. Whatever, we'll get a rule on that from Jim, but I think we could do it tomorrow. Okay?
What time? Where? When?
City Hall, I'll arrange it with Dominic and Lenore. Be time that we could meet first thing in the morning. Pardon? Anybody is invited would like to come.
Let's set a time then.
We'd like to set a time. Dominic, what's your schedule, Lenore? We got that meeting now. Or we could swear them in right now.
Do it. Do you have the form, Lenore?
I have it. Is that,
That's fine, yeah.
get council that
Fine.
way? Dominic, is that fine?
I'm ready.
I, Dominic Montanaro,
I, Dominic Montanaro,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the state of Florida,
the state of Florida,
and the ordinances of the city of Satellite Beach,
and the ordinances of the city of Satellite Beach,
that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties of council member
discharge the duties of council member
to which I have been elected
To
of
which-
the city of Satellite Beach.
to which I have been elected to the city of Satellite Beach.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Any further business? I have one item I'd like to bring up just from a timing standpoint. For our next council meeting, remember, we have appointments to boards, and depending on the number of appointments there are that can make the interviews, we will either start at 6:15 or 6:30. Is that okay with council? Okay. Here and now, further business, meeting's adjourned.